My name is Andrea Vall, and you are listening to the QR Codes and Mobile Marketing for Your Business webinar presented by the, and I am very embarrassed to say, how do you pronounce is it ELA or is it ELA area?
It's ELA Area Public Library.
ELA area, okay. I've read it so many times that I don't think I've ever heard it pronounced. And I'm actually from the Chicago area, so I live out here in Boulder, Colorado right now, but I grew up in Wheaton, and so I'm very happy to be kind of coming to you to the Midwest virtually right now. And actually, I'm actually driving out that way starting on Saturday. So I'm making my little visit to family out there, and just happy to be with you all today for this Lunch and Learn. So let me tell you a little bit about my background so you understand where I'm coming from and how I came to present this to you today. I'm a social media coach, strategist, and speaker. I am the co-author of Facebook Marketing All-in-One for Dummies. So a lot of what I write about is Facebook specific, but really all of social media I cover, all types of social media for businesses and brands, and I consult with businesses on helping them become more social, increasing their footprint on the web, and reaching your perfect clients out there through social media. I also am the previous community manager for Social Media Examiner, and I just want to touch on that because this site, socialmediaexaminer.com, is a great resource for you. In addition to my own site, of course, I always like to plug my own site, but if you haven't been connected with socialmediaexaminer.com, I highly recommend you go out and connect with them, sign up for their newsletter, and they've got a lot of great articles that come out about social media, and I blog there as well. I do guest posting there as well. And I kind of have a little bit of a unique angle to my blog. I actually have an improv comedy background, and when I started my blog, I had been using social media to promote my businesses. I had an in-home wine tasting business, which was kind of a little bit of my dream job right there. It was a great job. And I was using social media to promote it. And what I was finding is that there were a lot of really boring, dull tutorials out there. And so I decided I wanted to launch my own blog, but bring in my improv comedy background. I performed improv comedy on the side, and I thought I would use one of my characters to help me blog. And I thought she would be fun, entertaining, and she's also a little bit cranky. And so I use Grandma Mary is one of my characters to do a lot of my blog posting to make it more fun and entertaining, lighten the mood. Like I said, she's kind of cranky because I know that you probably all know how challenging it is to keep up with all the social media stuff. It keeps changing. New things keep coming out, and so Grandma gets to say some of the things that I don't always get to say, and gets to be a little cranky about all the things that you have to learn. So I definitely recommend you get connected with me on my site at andreavall.com, and you'll find Grandma there as well, and she's got also a Facebook page at facebook.com/Grandma Mary Show. So just wanted to kind of highlight where I've come from and give you a little scoop on Grandma, so when you come to my site you won't be wondering what's going on there. So let's get started with what we're going to cover today. We're going to cover the future of mobile marketing. Mobile marketing is already here, and how do we as business owners tap into it, connect in, what should we be doing to really understand where we need to go with mobile marketing. So I think a lot of people are nervous about mobile marketing, even more so than social media, and how do we get into connecting with our customers through their mobile phones. So we'll really break that down for you. We'll talk about QR codes, alternative techniques, SMS marketing, which is short message service. And basically that is another way to say text messaging, but it's through the business marketing, not just texting between friends. How do you start a SMS campaign? And we're also going to be talking about some social sites, Facebook, Twitter, other tools that you can use to connect to your clients on their mobile phones. And then your website. So the state of mobile marketing, this is an incredible statistic, and it's almost here. So they predict that by 2015, mobile use will surpass desktop use. And the interesting thing that some of these studies have found is that people are using their mobile phones not only when they're out and about, but there's a lot of people using their mobile phones to find things while they're even in their house. So it's not even just, people are on the go and doing some searching. They're doing the searching on their mobile phones because it's right next to them, because it's easy. This statistic also includes iPad use. So of course we know iPad use is growing by leaps and bounds. If I were live in the room, I would have a show of hands of how many people have an iPad. But maybe Valerie, you can. So if anyone has an iPad, raise their hands. And Valerie, maybe you can tell me how many hands are up.
I would say probably a quarter of the room, 25%.
Okay, all right. Well, sometimes it depends on the audience. I go to a lot of kind of techie, nerdy conferences, so usually it's like 75% there. But it definitely is growing, and so it's something to consider. And the interesting thing is they do kind of group that iPad use into the mobile market, even though it's kind of more of a hybrid. So a lot of people are accessing social media through their mobile devices, Twitter, YouTube, and then the QR code statistics are growing, and they have mixed results. So there's a lot of counter evidence and evidence that they're growing or not growing, or some people keep saying they're dead, but they're not dead. People are still using them. But I think that they're definitely still being used based on statistics and polls that have been out there. And I think it can be a really good use of connecting people into something you want to see. But there's some good ways to use that and not so good ways to use that. So we'll talk about that. So mobile marketing is we're not always just talking about text messages when we're talking about mobile marketing. There's a whole lot more to it. It involves the customer's state of mind when they're searching for you, when they're out on the go. They're searching for your sites. They're accessing social media. And text messaging is a great option. They get a huge open rate, and if anyone is familiar with email open rates, those are typically in the range of 25% or less. Depends on your business. Sometimes people are not opening your email messages, but 90% of text messages are open. So it can be an effective way to communicate with your audience, but there are some right and wrong things, ways to go about that. And QR codes are a matter of placing them in the right places, putting them in the right places. So we're going to start with QR codes. And a QR code stands for quick response. And basically what it means is it's a really fast way to get to some website. And you've seen them around. They're these little squares. And I'd love to hear a show of hands. And Valerie, you can, and actually if you're on the chat, you can put this in the chat as well. But Valerie, how many people have ever scanned a QR code before? Just people raise their hands to.
I'd say probably about 20% of the room, maybe a little bit less.
Yeah. Okay, and that's actually fairly typical. I think I was just looking at some recent stats that said about 25% of people had ever scanned one. It was a little higher in the younger group, in the 18 to 24 range, and it went down as the age ranges went up. So that is, I think the average was about 20-25%. So good to know. But basically what you need to scan that is you have to have a smartphone and you have to have some sort of app. So a lot of people aren't aware of how to even do it. Installing an app on your smartphone usually takes just like a minute to put that in there, but people need to have that to be able to scan it. So not everyone is familiar with how to even do that. So that's a little bit of the barrier to entry with QR codes. They are free to create. You can go to, I'll give you some websites where you can create your own QR code. There's other options as well where you can get fancier and have a custom QR code with some fancier features that you pay for, but it's pretty easy to do it pretty quickly. So let me get back to, okay. So yeah, here's some creative examples of things you can do. This one here on the left is branded with BBC, with, in the logo itself. Then the middle one is really cool with the different colors and the branding and all kinds of stuff. And that can be, that's obviously custom. The butterfly pavilion here is, kind of cool the way they've done it with putting the QR code kind of in the middle of the butterfly. And, all these will scan very easily because the way the scanner works is it just figures out how to orient the QR code. It doesn't have to be this perfect picture of it to be able to scan it and direct you to that website. Here's some of the sites that you can use to create QR codes. And actually what I'm going to also do is provide a copy of the slides to Valerie so that you don't have to scribble all these down quickly to get this reference information. So don't worry about copying all these down. But there's just some different sites that you can use. The paid one at the bottom, does something much more custom, like was shown in the examples beforehand. But the other ones are just very easy. You just put in, like it shows here, I created one for my own website, and just put in the website address that I wanted to send people to, and then it just came up with a code and generated the code in a millisecond. So it's very quick and easy. But let's also talk about where to send people. You want to make sure that you're sending people to something that will benefit them. You want to also make sure that the site that you're sending them to is mobile friendly so that they can easily read the information once they get to that site. So usually people are looking for information about something they want to buy, or maybe it's something they want to learn about, or something like something where they're going to get something for free. So that can be a really great tool to get people maybe on your email list. Maybe you want people to get a little freebie and you want to say, sign up here to get my freebie, and then you'll have their email address from there. Or maybe it's something that they want to know more about something in your restaurant. So there's lots of things you can do with QR codes, but just make sure that it's useful for the person who's going to scan it. So, here's some other ideas as well. Business cards, brochures, Real estate is a big one. I see a lot of QR codes on real estate signs. Sometimes they don't go anywhere. I've tried to find more information about the house, but they go to the general real estate page, and that's not very helpful for me because then I have to try and search around for that information. You want it to go exactly to the perfect place where people are going to find more information on your site about that thing that they're looking at, wherever they're at. So here, this example is a library. It shows where they can ask their questions. It would be also interesting if you sent them to more information about the book or some history about the book or the site, the thing that they might be looking at there. So there's all kinds of possibilities that I think are really interesting. And what you also want to make sure you do if you are going to use QR codes in your location is probably have some place where it tells people how to download the app or what they need to do or what does this mean. Like, you could have a sign that says, "What is this?" around our site, and it would show an example of the QR code where you would say, "It's called a QR code and here's how you use it. Go to the Google Play Store or whatever and download the QR code app, and then you can start using it to get more information." And you could use it. You could even do something like a scavenger hunt or something like that. That would be fun to kind of increase the use of the QR codes around your site. There are alternatives to QR codes that a lot of people don't know about. One is called MS tags, and you may have seen that. I have not seen them as much recently. I used to see them more often in things like the newspaper or other sites, but that's Microsoft's answer to the QR code, and it uses a different reader, and it's the same idea though. Snap tags is kind of a cool app that is out there as well, where it's basically using the circle spacing around the logo there to give information about where to send the reader. The kind of cool thing about this is you don't need a special app to run it. You can just take a photo and email that photo somewhere, which is usually very easy for people to do. They can email it or text it somewhere that will then look at the photo and redirect them to the site that you want to send them to. This is a company that does this, and this is a paid sort of application. So, if you're interested in making it easier for people to use without having to go download an app, that could be a possibility as well. The cool thing about this type of app is that they're very easily brandable. You can put your logo in the middle of it, and it's just the circles that are the kind of give the information on where to send people. So just an alternative. So any questions before we move on about QR codes and how those work? No?
No questions here.
Okay, great. So let's talk about SMS marketing and what that entails. SMS marketing stands for short message service, and it's basically text messaging. You can't gather phone numbers or cell phone numbers from people and just start text messaging them from your business. They have to opt in to your service. And usually the only reason someone would opt into your service would be to get special coupons or special deals or really great information and tips from you. So you have to, before you're going to start an SMS campaign, you have to really think about what you're going to be providing, how often you're going to be providing that, and how you're going to make sure you keep that flow going so that people don't forget that they've opted in and then call your message spam if they get it like 6 months later and they get a text message from you. So it has to be an opt-in service. and there's not much space that you have in there to send information out, but you can send things like links to coupons or things like that. So like I said, a lot of people are more interested in receiving coupons this way, so it has to be part of your whole marketing strategy that you are going to offer coupons. Sometimes businesses, it doesn't make sense for them to offer coupons. But it could also be really great tips that you're going to just send to them, periodically. So those are kind of the ideas behind that. There's a friend of mine who has written a book about mobile marketing, and she has a mobile marketing text message services that gives mobile marketing tips. So I just wanted to kind of give you an idea of how that works, and have you get more mobile marketing tips if you'd like. So all you have to do to opt into her mobile marketing tips is to text Kim D to 69302. And her name is Kim Dushinsky, and she's written a great book about mobile marketing, and I have that resource at the end of these slides as well. But you can kind of get an idea of what it looks like to have a mobile marketing campaign just by opting into hers as well. So you also have to make sure that you let people know that data rates may apply. So there is going to be, you have to have that message that goes out as well to comply with the whole mobile marketing rules there. And you have to also allow some sort of way for someone to opt out by replying, stop or something like that. And also you have to make sure that people know what they're opting in for. So if they're opting in for coupons and things like that, you can only send coupons to them. And that is very similar to the CAN-SPAM Act of email marketing. If someone has opted into your email list to receive information about one of your businesses, you can't start sending them information about a different business by putting them on another email list. So it's the same kind of deal with mobile marketing as well. So there's a great tool out there that helps with coupon SMS delivery. It's called fanminder.com, and here's what that can look like. It gives you the link to redeem the coupon and things like that. So that's a great tool. If you're going to, I usually for these types of things recommend some type of service because they already do it all. It can be challenging to set this up all on your own to send out text messages to all kinds of people at one time. So I think using a service is the best way to do it. So there's lots of other SMS services out there, and I've got some resources here: kachingmobilemarketing.com, Sumo Text, and MMA Global, Mobile Marketing Association Global.com is a great resource for you to learn more about how the industry works for mobile SMS campaigns, and they also have a directory that is very helpful that is their members for other campaigns that you might want to run. MobileMarketingProfits.com is my friend Kim Dushinsky's site, and she's got some vendors that she recommends there as well, so you can check that out. And like I said, we are going to have the slides available at the end, so you don't have to worry about copying all these down right now. So any questions about mobile marketing, SMS campaigns before we get into some of the other social media ways to market on mobile? Nope, I don't see any questions in the chat either, so great. Okay, good. So let's talk about Facebook and other social sites for mobile marketing. Facebook is definitely focusing more on mobile. A lot of people are accessing Facebook, the Facebook stream, Facebook home feed through their mobile devices. they have now also provided ways for ads to show in the mobile stream themselves. They used to not have this available, but now ads are appearing directly in the news feed, and you can actually target your ads to only show up on mobile devices if you want. So if you have a really good thing that you want to advertise to only mobile users, maybe it's maybe it's a special mobile coupon that you're going to link them to for people to come into your store. So, or you could target mobile users by saying, are you reading this on your mobile phone? Then click here to get your special coupon, or something like that that is very attractive and interesting to mobile users, and it gets their attention. So you can use that kind of technique, or just realize that your ads are going to be seen by mobile users, because they're in the news feed rather than on the sidebar. Because if you're familiar with scrolling through Facebook on your phone, you know that you don't see that sidebar information that you see when you're on your PC. You can also use your fan page to connect to people. So you're not only connecting them via an ad, but also just by posting on your fan page or updating your page/place, you are accessing people who are scrolling through their news feed on their mobile device. A lot of people use the time. I mean, you look around at any restaurant, first of all, but anywhere people are waiting, and it looks like everyone is on their mobile device, and they're checking email, they're looking at their social sites, they're looking at their little notifications. So there's lots of things you can do to access people who are on their mobile devices without doing a specialized SMS campaign. All you need to do is use social media, and you will be connecting with people who are on their mobile device. Let's talk about Facebook Places and Pages, because I think that this can be a little bit confusing for people, and it may depend on how your business is set up, how you want to structure your Facebook page. So a Facebook Place is set up for local businesses only, and there used to be more of a separation between a place and a page. Now they're kind of merged together. So you'll notice on the ELA Public Library information here, they've got their address right in this About section. And they've got 686 check-ins. You've got 686 check-ins there. And so that is a Facebook page that is also a Facebook Place. There are some businesses who could be set up as a Facebook Place only and not be tied to a page. So it gets kind of confusing with that. If you set your business up, if you set your page up when you create your Facebook page as a local business, you're going to be automatically creating your place as well so that people can check in. Now, I recommend that you only be set up as a local business with a place connected to it, a Facebook place connected to it, if you truly have a brick and mortar store where people can walk in and you have hours, or you have some physical location where people can walk in. Even if you are, say, like an accountant who mostly works with local businesses, you don't want to be set up as a local business if you have your business out of your home, because what will happen is when people are searching on their phone, they will see your business, and your business will be located in your home, and they could come over to your home and check in or like knock on your door or whatever. So you don't want to be set up as a local business if you are operating out of your home. And even if you're not operating out of your home, if you don't have a brick and mortar store or someplace where people walk into, I recommend you don't be set up as a local business, even if you just serve mostly local people. So That's my advice with that. You can tell that a page is set up as a local business if they have that address and phone number information right on their main kind of about section on their page. So that means that they are set up as a local page. You can there are some interesting things that happen if you have a local business. You may want to search on your phone on Facebook when you're near your store to see if there's duplicates, because sometimes people accidentally check into a place and they create it on Facebook themselves. So you want to kind of own that space and merge it with your official page so people aren't checking into kind of a dummy page on Facebook themselves. So do a quick search on Facebook if you have a brick and mortar store where people check in. See if you can see any other kind of duplicates, and you want to go out and claim those duplicates, because you want to get the credit for people checking into your place. You want people to be attached to your your Facebook page, because you want them to get your updates when you're updating your page and connecting with them. So you want to get all the benefit you can from Facebook. So make sure that you just watch that piece of it. You can, it is kind of nice to encourage check-ins, because what happens when someone checks in is that goes into their news feed, and all their friends see that they've checked into the library, for example, and it just gives people another point of recognition. It's helping, having your patrons or your clients or customers spread the word for you about your business and remind all the other local people about your business by having people check into your space. Now, the kind of interesting thing that has happened recently is Facebook deals have gone away. So when I say give people a deal for checking in, you're going to have to do that more manually, where you kind of will have to have them show their phone to show that they have checked in, and then you can then give them whatever it is, 10% off or a free drink or whatever it might be. So here's what it looks like when someone checks into, this is an example of Famous Dave's Barbecue that someone has checked into, and so now everyone else sees that in their news feed. All the friends of that person see that in their news feed. So you can encourage check-ins by giving a special deal, or just I mean, that's normally why people might check in. Or there was an interesting, actually at Famous Dave's, this is kind of funny, I wasn't even remembering that this was the same screen, but at Famous Dave's they were giving a special deal if you took a picture of some sort of special rib and checked in with it, then you got like a coupon for your next visit or something like that. So there's lots of little ways that you can encourage people to share on Facebook and kind of do your marketing for you. So Facebook Deals, like I mentioned, is going away, and I think it's still there for some pages, so it's not totally rolled out. But you used to be able to access it in the back end of your Facebook, but like I said, it's not available anymore. So the other social sites you definitely want to think about in connecting with, so that you can connect with your customers and clients on mobile devices, and are Twitter, which is very mobile friendly, but two others that you may not think about are LinkedIn and Google, Google+. So LinkedIn has a news feed as well, and people are looking at their LinkedIn news feed as they're kind of killing time sometimes. So it's important to be updating your LinkedIn status so that you're popping into people's minds when they're just scrolling through the news feed and reading. So let's talk about Twitter first, and since that is probably the largest mobile type site, LinkedIn maybe not as much. People aren't necessarily reading the news feed on LinkedIn, but some do. So I don't know, how many people are on Twitter right now? I'd love to hear a kind of show of hands on that. Valerie, are there people there on Twitter?
One person.
One person, okay. Well, here's a quick crash course on the pros and cons of Twitter. If you're thinking about being on Twitter, there's some great. I love Twitter, but it is definitely time intensive. The thing about Twitter is that people are following a lot of people, and you quickly get lost in the noise on Twitter. And so you have to be updating much more. Somewhere, it's not just a once-a-day update on Twitter. Usually you want to be updating at least like 5 times a day. And so it's a lot of content for people. And by updating, I don't mean you always have to have some brilliant tweet that you're, kind of sweating over and thinking about. It could be simple as retweeting something that you think is interesting, or putting a quick observation, or a quick tip out there, linking to previous blog posts that you might have had. So you can, have more content that's not quite as heavy as maybe like a Facebook update, where you're kind of maybe putting a little bit more thought into that, and you don't have to update Facebook quite as much. But Twitter is a little bit more time intensive. But I've seen every single business that I've seen every type of business be on Twitter and have some good success with it. There's all kinds of businesses. It's not just right for one type of business. You could be any type of business and still do pretty well on Twitter if you put some time into it. The cool thing is that you can, it's very searchable, and you can really reach anyone. You could follow anyone or tweet to anyone. I can tweet to Oprah all day long if I want to. She will probably not answer, but she could potentially see my tweet, because I'm tagging her in the tweet itself and saying, hey, at Oprah, I loved your show today, or whatever it might be. Is she still on? I don't even know if she's still on, really. But it's so it's very it's a great tool for connecting to lots of different people. The mobile app that I really love with Twitter is called HootSuite. Now this app, you can use Twitter on your phone and just use the regular Twitter application. But what I love about HootSuite is that you can schedule tweets. It's got a web app as well as a mobile app, and you can really organize your following into different types of lists. For example, I have a list of people that are local businesses that I have connected to out here. I also have a list of my favorite blogs where I follow people who are on Twitter who are some of my favorite blogs that I read, and that way I make sure that I never miss those tweets because I'm following a smaller subset in that list. The other thing about HootSuite and Twitter on mobile phones is that when someone talks to me, when someone says something directly to me, I get a little notification at the top of my mobile phone. So this is where you really have the potential to reach your customers and clients and people you want to connect with on their mobile devices, because people cannot resist checking to see who is talking about them. If you're talking to someone directly, they want to know what you're saying, and they go and check their updates to see who has said something to them. So where Twitter works best is when you're actually having a conversation with people, or when you're retweeting them or mentioning them. So if you're going to use Twitter, you need to be kind of talking back and forth in a true conversation with people. So, don't use it as just a broadcasting tool where you're just saying, here's my latest sale, here's my new blog post, here's all a bit more about me. It's not just talking about you. It's trying to have a conversation with other people. So, so that's definitely. If you notice in this stream of information, is Jen Walk at the top is retweeting what I said, and So it's something that I tweeted out, and she's sending it out to her followers. So I get a notification that Jen is talking to me, and I go in and look, and I then can say, oh, thank you, Jen, for sharing my tweet on my site. So that's basically in a nutshell how it works. Here's what LinkedIn today looks like on your mobile phone, and basically it's the stats, or it's the status updates that people have, and you can see who's connecting with who and things like that. Obviously, LinkedIn is great for business B2B companies, business-to-business companies. That's kind of the go-to for the B2B market. I love LinkedIn for a lot of reasons. I think you can connect and be more visible with a lot of people. It's definitely more of a business feel than, say, something like Facebook. But if you're more of a B2C type company, it can be hard to individually go out and connect with consumers. You can have a company page on LinkedIn, so if people start following your company page, they will then get your company page updates in their stream as well. A lot of people aren't really aware of following company pages, so that can be a little bit of an uphill battle. LinkedIn is really more for people who are using their personal profiles at this moment. I mean, there's a few companies out there that have a really good following, but they're kind of more the techie, geeky, kind of nerdy companies. Although, I think I've seen some of the bigger B2C brands as well. But it can be a little bit of an uphill battle getting people to follow your company on LinkedIn for B2C type businesses. But I do recommend people even have a company page just to increase the likelihood of people finding you in a search. So I think that's a good policy in any case. But you want to be updating your statuses. Here's an example of my friend Sophia, who is a realtor, and she is she just posted an update about some company moving to Lower Highlands. And it doesn't always have to be this amazing content. It can be just the fact that Sophia pops into my mind again, and I remember my friend Sophia the realtor, and so now if I think about buying or selling a house, she will be the one who's on the top of my mind. So it's just really focusing on creating that top of mind awareness for your business. Google Plus is definitely a little bit more of a challenge for some people. I love using Google Plus for the reasons that it's very it's very important in search. There's a lot of benefits to using Google Plus for searches and having people +1 your content. If you're blogging especially, it's a really good thing to make sure that you are tied into Google Plus. But you do have to have people circle you to, be kind of following you. So you don't, it might be challenging again to get your audience to, if they're not on Google Plus, to come and circle you or start using Google Plus on their phone. But again, you do get those notifications if people are talking to you or tagging you in a post and things like that. So I've seen all types of businesses have good work with Google Plus to their advantage. Even I saw an HVAC contractor who is using Google Plus and just sharing good content and getting some local connections from it. So, obviously on all these social sites, you have to still get the people to follow you, circle you, link with you, all that kind of thing to actually get the benefit from using these social sites on mobile devices or anywhere. So you always have to be considering how you're going to be growing those social sites. I don't recommend being on all the social sites at once. I think it's very overwhelming. Just pick 1 or 2 that you think are going to benefit you and focus your attention on those. So any questions about the social media sites before we get into some of the other content? Okay.
Yeah, we have one question.
Oh, yeah.
I got on Twitter a few weeks ago, and I'm following some comedians, some writers and comedy shows, and that is what I'm finding to be the most entertaining part of it. One thing that I've noticed is some of them have like 1,000 to 5,000 followers, and they're starting to put brand names into their tweets. And it seems like they're getting paid to do that. Can you get to a certain amount of followers where you're going to start to get offers from Taco Bell and?
Yeah, it has to be. So I guess just so I make sure I understood and heard the question properly. So you were saying that some of the people you're following. It sounds like I've got an echo here too. Some of the people you're following have a larger number of followers and are maybe getting look like they have some sponsored tweets in there?
Yeah, well, they're very strange tweets. And they're not the type of people that I would suspect are going to be advertised for major brands like Taco Bell. So I'm thinking.
Yeah. That sounds really busy. Yeah, I'm sorry, I'm distracted by the is there a microphone, or Valerie, is that why we're getting a kind of feedback here?
Yeah, we don't have any feedback on our end.
Oh, you don't? Okay, it's just in my head then.
Oh.
Just on I'm hearing it several times. So so you probably, with 5,000 followers, would not be approached by Taco Bell or something like that to put out sponsored posts. It could be that they're doing some sort of affiliate marketing, but I wouldn't anticipate that with a major brand. I'm not sure what the situation would be. I'd probably have to see if that's what that tweet looks like or where it goes, but it sounds a little bit strange. But usually we're supposed to, if you have an advertisement, disclose that is an advertised or sponsored post. The FTC guidelines are hard and kind of open to a little bit of interpretation on where that disclosure has to happen. Because tweets are so short, it's hard to even say that this post is sponsored, because that's like half the post right there. So I'm not sure exactly why that would be, but that does sound a little strange.
No other questions.
So any other questions? Oh,
no.
So you said none? Okay.
Yeah, no questions.
Okay, great. Okay, so actually let's get into creating your mobile website. And let me just, okay. I'm getting a big echo, so I apologize if I'm distracted a little bit. So what does it take to create your mobile website? And this is actually should be a big part of your mobile strategy, because people are using their mobile devices to browse more. And what a mobile website is just a site that's optimized for the mobile screen. So it usually involves browser redirect. There's a detection on if someone's using a mobile device to get to your website, and then it kind of redirects them to a mobile-friendly website. Usually it starts with m.yourwebsite.com. And for iPads, there's, people can have some settings where they set it back to the full website. So it looks something like this, but let me show you. Actually, I'm going to go ahead real quick to show you these two examples. So here's two examples of my site before I had the mobile-friendly site on there. And what happens is you can see the navigation is a little strange, the header is cut off, and people can't read it as well. Here's an example of Social Media Examiner's site where they have optimized it for mobile, and what they realize is that when people are coming on their mobile site, they want to be able to easily navigate to maybe some of the blog posts that they have recently. Or you can pick what you want people to see on their mobile device. Maybe you do design something completely custom and completely special. So those are just the ideas on how you set your site up to be more mobile friendly. But yeah, the best practices on this are you usually redesign the navigation, because the navigation is typically across the top of the screen on your website, and it doesn't show up as well. And you also want to consider what people are looking for when they come to your site on a mobile device. They might be looking for your address or your phone number if they're lost. So you want those things to be very prominent. And then you also want to make your pictures smaller so they're very quick and they load quicker. And you want the site to be narrower so people don't have to scroll left and right to be able to read it. The easiest way to make your site more mobile friendly is if you have a WordPress site. So a lot of websites are based on WordPress, the WordPress software, even if they're not a blog. My website is based on WordPress, and you'll notice that on my site the blog isn't even the main page. It's a page off to the side. But it's very easy to use WordPress to kind of make your site mobile friendly, and you just need a plugin. My favorite is WP Touch. I like the Pro version of that. There's a free version and a Pro version, and it's only $49. And you can really customize it much more than the free version, so that's why I recommend the Pro version. So again, here's what it looks like, and I forgot to put the WP Touch is shown in the right hand. Social Media Examiner also uses WP Touch to have their mobile site. You can also, if you don't have a WordPress site, there are some do-it-yourself drag-and-drop designers out there, and I'll give you some information on that. Or you can pay to hire for a mobile website specialist, and they can redesign it. They can even do some like mobile commerce. Here's an example of like Tire Pros. They've got their dealer locator and all kinds of other stuff that they have special on there. So here's an example of the do-it-yourself drag-and-drop designers, MoFuse, and it starts at $8 a month. Done for you is $650. So you also kind of want to be careful of the monthly fees versus non-monthly fees. Make sure you understand how that's all set up. So any questions about designing your mobile site?
Just one question.
I don't understand the mobile plugin part, or I go to the WordPress site. I don't understand the plugin thing.
Did you hear that, Andrea?
No, I can't hear that.
She said he does not understand the plugin part to the mobile site. She does have a mobile-friendly site. And he's unclear about...
Does he have a WordPress site?
A WordPress site, yes.
Yeah, so the mobile friendly, so what you want to do is just go look at your website on a mobile device and see how it looks. If it doesn't look that good, hold on just a second, the feedback is really bad. I'm trying to make an adjustment here. Let me just see if I can.
You are now muted.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to try this and see. Can you guys? No, that's.
You are now unmuted.
Okay. So, all right. So I'm going to just keep plugging away here. Hopefully the recording will not pick up this feedback here. Oh, muted sounded good. Yeah, I think I'm getting some information in the chat too. So here's what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mute the line while I'm answering this. So, okay.
You are now muted.
So so what you want to do is you want to look at your site on a mobile device and make sure that see how it looks. And if it looks good, you know, some WordPress sites are already kind of, the theme themselves is optimized for mobile already. Some themes that you choose on your WordPress site already have it kind of optimized for mobile. So that's great, and you don't need a plugin. Now, if you go to your mobile device and look up your website and you have to scroll right and scroll left and the header's too big and things like that, it doesn't look good, then you might want to consider using that WP Touch plugin. And all you do for the plugin is you go to the WP Touch site. Let me just make sure see if I had that on there. Oh, you know what? I think I don't have the website address specifically. But if you go into the plugins area and just do a search on WP Touch, all one word, you will find that plugin. And you can install it, but then you can also choose the option for the Pro if you want it and go and purchase that. And then it will be installed on your WordPress site. And then you go in the back end and go into your settings and you'll see the WP Touch plugin there, and you'll be able to adjust some of the settings accordingly and then go from there. So and then go back to your website on your mobile device and see how it looks. So hopefully that helps. Okay.
You are now unmuted.
Again. Any other questions?
I wanted to know if the mobile site is a separate domain that you have to buy.
Did you hear that?
No.
Participant wants to know if the mobile site requires a separate domain.
No, it does not require a separate. Yeah, let me just mute again. Sorry, I'm getting some bad.
You are now muted.
So no, the mobile site does not require a separate domain. And what will happen is when you either get it designed by someone else, or if you use the WP Touch, it will just kind of redirect to the mobile-friendly version. So you don't have to buy a new domain or anything like that. It's all automatic that happens within there.
You are now unmuted.
Okay, hopefully that answered the question.
Yes, we have another question.
Okay.
We talked earlier about not being on all four LinkedIn, Google+, Facebook, and Twitter. Is it possible, if I did want to be on all four of those, to create one post and simultaneously have it post on all four?
Yeah, so the question, I heard that question.
You are now muted.
The question was, just to repeat it for the recording, the question was if you did want to be on all four, LinkedIn, Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, is it possible to have the ability to send one post and have it go to all sites? And that is the benefit of HootSuite right there. HootSuite is you can add in all your networks. Well, not all. You can't add in like Pinterest or things like that. But you can add in LinkedIn, Facebook, Google+, and Twitter. And then what you do is you type in your update at the top, and then you'll go and check all those sites that you want it to go out to be pushed out to. And then you click post, and it'll send it to all those different sites at once. Now, there's some considerations with that. You don't want to always post all the same content to all the sites, but occasionally you probably do. Some people recommend not even posting ever the same content, which I think is ridiculous. But you want to, sometimes tailor your content to that environment a little bit more. And one of the benefits of posting on Facebook directly is that you can attach pictures much larger, it just doesn't come out the same in Hootsuite. You can do a few different things in the types of posts that you do, like you can tag people on Google+ if you're posting, directly on Google+. You can't like universally tag people all from Hootsuite by tag. There's different tagging options you have in these different sites. So that's why you would want to have some posts that are just only on that one site specifically. Plus, Twitter usually requires a lot more volume than, say, Facebook or Google+ or LinkedIn. So, you certainly wouldn't want to update your, Facebook page 10 times a day, although some people do. I know they do. So there are just a few different considerations. But that's what I like about Hootsuite. Hootsuite is free. There's some benefits to, actually I think to add in Google+, I think you may have to be on the Pro account on Hootsuite, and that is, I think it's $5 a month, so it's really inexpensive. You also get some really good benefits of some analytics that you can see in Hootsuite when you go with the Pro account rather than a non-Pro account. So hopefully that helped.
You are now unmuted.
Can you also read the feeds from all 4 of those sites?
Yes, you can read the feeds from all 4 of those. You have a different tab for each of those sites, and you can read your feed. And so it's really a whole dashboard manager that you can use to manage all your sites in one place.
Can you post to multiple Facebook pages, your personal and your business
Yes,
pages?
you can. Yeah, you can post to multiple pages. You can have as many pages connected as you are the admin of.
Is there a cost to Hootsuite?
So the cost, yeah, the free account you can still add. Let's see, I don't know if there's a limit on the free account. I have the Pro account, so I can't remember if there is a limit on the free account. But if you go to Hootsuite.com, HootSuite.com, they will show the differences between the Pro and the free, and you'll be able to see if there's any limit on how many accounts you can attach. But I don't know if I don't think there is, but I could be wrong. So good. Let me just actually, I know that we're a little bit out of time here, but I did want to mention a couple other things here. And actually, I think I lost my, oh, here we are. Okay, so you can still see my screen. So let me just talk about the mobile payments really quickly, because that's another good advantage of mobile. Let me actually mute the line again. Hold on.
You are now muted.
So, part of mobile could be making your business more mobile is having the ability to take mobile payments. And I love this option because if you're, out and about or you're at a workshop or something like that, people want to pay you with credit card, these are just some really easy devices to be able to swipe a credit card really quickly. You've probably seen them in some shops. Some shops have their whole register set up around a tablet, and they're swiping it that way too. Square is one of the most popular ones, squareup.com, and here is another one that's PayPal, through PayPal. I think it also allows for the mobile card, or for credit card, just general credit card payments. It's not just for PayPal. And then I wanted to alert you to another one, is Plus by EMS. Just a full disclosure, this is one of my clients. They do have a lower rate though than Square. So just as an FYI, if you're looking for that. The nice thing is that it's only like these rates are really inexpensive for accepting credit cards. It's like 2.75% or 3%, somewhere around there. And the payment goes directly tied into your bank account, gets sent right into your bank account, so there's no other merchant processing that goes through that. So it's a very easy way to kind of take mobile payments. So final thoughts, getting a little bit mobile is not hard to do. I recommend starting with your mobile web, or starting with getting your website more mobile and making sure that that is easy to read on mobile devices, and then maybe adding in some of these other things, maybe thinking about your social media strategy so you can connect with your clients that way, and possibly adding in QR codes or SMS messaging as well. So thank you so much, everyone. I have a free report that you can sign up for. It's Getting Started on Social Media, the Quick Start Guide. So you can access that at AndreaVall.com/free report. I also have lots of tutorials and blog posts there about all kinds of social media techniques, tips, tricks, and I do offer one-on-one consulting. So I'm going to unmute the line again, see if we have any last questions.
You are now unmuted.
There's a question. Oh,
We do have one question.
Okay, and let me just also, I'm gonna mute the line one more second. There's a couple questions coming in on the chat, and I'll answer those, and then I'll unmute again to get the other
You are
question.
now muted.
So Robin was asking what's the best day or time to make a post on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, etc. Great question, because there's a lot of data out there that talks about the perfect times to post. And actually, I just posted on Grandma Mary's page the other day, or yesterday I think it was, because I've been seeing more and more of these perfect times to post, 9 to 11 on Facebook and 2 to 3 on LinkedIn or something like that. Really, I think the best times to post are the times where you have something to say. And also you want to make sure you're doing some testing on when your audience is there and what kind of response you're getting. So if you're posting at 7 a.m. in the morning and you don't get anyone saying anything, but you post at 1 p.m. in the afternoon and you got more engagement, more interaction there, then obviously for you 1 p.m. is a better time to post, even though some of the data out there suggests that 8 to 11 is the best time to post or whatever. So do your own testing and make sure that it's right for you, but also just, you don't have to wait and time everything so perfectly. I think that if you have a natural thing that you're saying, something you want to get out there in an authentic way, you're going to get the most engagement anyway. So hopefully that answers your question, Robin. And then Nora had a question of if I was familiar with Dwolla mobile payments, D-W-O-L-L-A mobile payments, and I am not. I haven't heard of them, so I'm always interested in learning more. There's all kinds of Pay Simple. There's all kinds of tools out there. So definitely just do your homework when you're looking at any of these mobile payment providers. And what I like about the Square and EMS is there's no contracts. There's no fees, monthly fees, or anything like that. So just do your homework and kind of make sure you're looking at all the fine print on these payment providers and seeing if there's any loopholes, catches, and things like that. So, okay, let me unmute. Hopefully that helped, Nora. And then I'm going to unmute the line. We'll get the
You are now unmuted.
First of all,
so there was another question.
Facebook. Yeah, can you hear me?
Kind of, yes. I'll try and.
Facebook Insights does tell you now when the best time to post is based on your audience.
Yeah, so that is a good thing. There's also there's another tool out there. I'm going to mute for a second.
You are now muted.
There's another tool out there called Edge Rank Checker, edgerankchecker.com. And that also tells you kind of the best time to post for your page. So that is something I like about the Facebook Insights now, is that they kind of give you a suggestion based on your engagement levels on when the best times to post are for you. It's sort of unscientific because it also depends on when you currently are posting, so that it kind of tells okay, based on these past posts, here's which one's got the most engagement. So you can always do a more scientific approach and say, I'm going to post 3 times a day this week and see which one gets the most engagement. But there's always variety. You know, it could be a matter of it was a text post or it was a more funny post that people responded to. So there's a lot of variables in there that are hard to control and kind of say for sure what's the best perfect time to post. So to me, I think, you know, what's important is just making sure you're trying to continue and get that engagement and connection with people.
You are now unmuted.
Is it possible to have a QR code on a billboard and just
yeah, that's really, I mean, you know, that's, you can, but by the time I think people are seeing that and they're scanning it if they're driving, you don't want to cause accidents. I've seen that before, and I have not been able to get my phone out in time to even scan that. So you could. It's possible. But I recommend it on things that are a little closer.
Can you program the QR code to have, like, if I held my phone up to a QR code, it automatically makes me follow that business and like it and or follow it on LinkedIn or all four or whatever?
Yeah, no, there's different ways to do that kind of thing. You can, I'm going to mute the line for just a second.
You are now muted.
So you can't program a QR code to automatically like. You could program it to send it to your Facebook page where they could then easily just click the like button, but it doesn't automatically like. There are ways to say text to like. So in your Facebook page area, and let me go back into mine so I can make sure, there are some settings. If you go into Edit Settings on your page and then go into the mobile section, let me just go back into that. Go into the mobile section under More. You can I think, let's see. Oh no, it doesn't have the text to like. There is a let me just look that up really quickly. Yeah. So if you look up text to like, there is a, so you text the URL name to 32665. That's what it is. So that spells FBook if you look at the numbers. So like for example, in my case, for Grandma Mary's page is Grandma Mary Show is the URL at the end. So I would just tell people to text Grandma Mary Show to 32665, and they would automatically then like my page. I don't know if, I don't think LinkedIn has that kind of feature because you're really just connecting with someone on LinkedIn. You're not like doing an automatic connection. And Twitter, I think there is a feature. No, that's click to tweet. There's click to tweet. I don't know if there's a text type of feature where you can do a quick text to automatically follow someone on Twitter. But if I find that, I'll let you know. So good. I think, let me just unmute again. Sorry,
you are now unmuted.
So are there any other last questions?
Universal tagging, is that, are we getting close to that? I mean, are there at least two sites working together?
What was it, universal what?
The universal tagging you talked about.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't think there's any. That would be nice, but there, as far as I know, there's not anything like that even planned. It would be nice if that could happen, but people have such different names on each site. I think it'd be hard to organize.
think that's it on our end over here.
Okay.
Oh, wait, I'm sorry, one more. Oh, wait, one more, Andrea.
Okay.
Okay. Has the technology advanced enough to take a list of, say, attendees to a conference that is 300 attendees, and you'd like to find a QR code unique to each attendee with their company name, phone number, email, so that if they go visit an exhibitor, the exhibitor can scan their unique QR code for their visiting. And then the mail merge is important because you want to be able to take your 300 and set up a unique QR code for each. So is there a simple way to do that? About a year and a half ago,
Okay.
it wasn't. Okay.
Did you hear that?
Sorry, no, I'm having difficulty hearing that. So I understand there's a conference and.
Do you want? I'm going to have her come and speak into the microphone.
Okay.
It was
That sounds good.
a longer question.
Basically, it's a QR code question. I have a list of, say, 300 business people that are going to attend a conference. I would like to take that list and mail merge it to their badge, but I'd like to assign a QR code to each of them that's unique with their email, address, phone number. So then the merge would be to their badge with a QR code if there's a technology for that. About a year and a half ago, there wasn't.
Right.
Does that make sense?
So basically, it would almost have to be to a, because the QR code is only sending people to the website. So it would basically, you'd have to have a separate website for each person's information, if I understand that correctly. So you would want someone to be able to like snapshot their badge and then get all their information kind of deal?
Like it acts as a scanner.
She said something that would act as a scanner.
Yeah.
Okay, because there's a site called, there's Card Munch. Have you heard of that?
What was it again?
LinkedIn.
It's with LinkedIn specifically, so it's cardmunch.com.
Cardmunch.com?
Yeah, and there is kind of an app where you take someone's picture of their information, and then you're able to kind of connect it, but it's really more for LinkedIn. Let me just see. Or no, I think it also captures their other information. Yeah, I don't know of an app like that would be QR code related. You could do something, but it would be very labor intensive, I think, because you'd have to have a separate site for each person's information.
I don't think we have any other questions, Andrea.
Okay, great. One other quick question I'll just mention that came in on the chat from Robin, and she was just asking, after the QR codes are created, how do you print or duplicate those to put in your storefront? And basically, when you create the QR code on these websites, then you're able to just kind of right-click and save that QR code to then put wherever you want to put it. So just want to make sure that was clear. So, great. All right. Well, thanks, everyone. Sorry about the feedback. I hope that it's not in the recording. I know that people in the chat were mentioning it. I know it sounds like you guys didn't hear it at the live site, so that's good. But hopefully we'll have a clean recording. And that should be up later this afternoon. So thanks, everyone, for attending, and we'll hopefully see you again soon.
Thanks, Andrea. I appreciate your time.